gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of Johnny's Joint. I'm your host, Johnny Johnson, and today we have a very special guest. I wish I could say it's a pleasure, but it's really not. You know my feelings on each one of these guys, but today we got the leader, the head honcho, the man himself, the BEW Champion, Jordan Oliver.
Alright, well, I have some notes to tell you already, right off the bat. When you introduced me as the young shooter, Jordan Oliver, not just Jordan Oliver. A full title there, Mr. BEW Commentator Johnny Johnson.
Ladies and gentlemen, the young shooter, Jordan Oliver. Jordan, welcome, it's a pleasure.
It should be. It should be on the BEW Champion.
Okay, well, this is Johnny's Joint, so I will control the questions here, and I will officiate how this interview proceeds, okay? I don't care what kind of belt you got. Oh, yeah, just make yourself at home. Alright. Well, let's start this interview off, okay? If I may.
You may. I'm paid to be here right now. So you might as well get your job done, and as quick as possible, please, because I have way better things to do to hang out with a coke addict and a Jew.
Okay, well, aside from the racist, hypocritical points that you've risen here, I also am getting paid, but I'm getting paid by the hour, so I'll take my sweet ass time. And I also need that money for coke, if you really need to know. Okay, so, alright, we'll get it up. We'll take it to the essence here, Jordan Oliver. Alright, so when you were born, when you were conceived in your mother's womb, when your father planted that seed in her ovaries, and you emerged 9 months later out of that uterus, you became a living, breathing person of this world. How long did it take you before you discovered the world of professional wrestling?
Well, I gotta say, when I didn't discover wrestling. Wrestling discovered me. I was born into this wrestling world, and that's why I'm so good, because I'm meant to be a wrestler. So really, that question should be, when did wrestling discover you? And that's probably when I was like 5 years old.
Okay, all right, 5 years old, and so I mean, my point, you kind of wedged around, you kind of weaseled your way around my wording, but what was the first memory that you have watching wrestling? What was the first company? Do you remember the first match?
I do. It was Booker T versus John Cena. That was my first match, and yes, it was interesting. It hooked me from the start.
Yes, Booker T and John Cena. I'd say Booker T is a little bit more entertaining, but John Cena, he is a legend, and I could imagine why that would hook you in and bring you in.
Yes.
Okay, so, you said you started when you were 5. I'm sure you enjoyed wrestling. You grew a passion for wrestling. And, so how did you discover BEW? How did you get involved with BEW?
Well, by the time I found BEW, I was already one of the best wrestlers in, the backyard circuit. But my sister introduced me to it. And, I went there the first day, and I fucked shit up, and I was the best in BEW already by my first day.
Okay, and you talk about your first day. What exactly do you mean by you fucked things up? What exactly was your goal coming to BEW that first day, and what did you accomplish that first day?
Well, that first day, I nearly broke a man's neck, which was, definitely the plan, going in there and taking over shit. Then I interrupted your last guest, the first guest on the show, Nevon McDonald, and,
King of the Mountain.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. And I put out, that he really wasn't a king, because he hasn't beaten everybody that's, the best. And, I did lose. That is, an important plot point, but, I came through, and, I did my thing. I showed him what's up.
Well, I don't doubt that, Jordan. I mean, but you can't really go around saying that you came in, you fucked shit up when you lost your first match. I mean, what kind of precedence does that set?
Technically, the animal Troy, I dropped him on his head with a tiger suplex that day. And, he hasn't been right in the head ever since. You seen that monster tattoo? He got that after that. So that'll show you how fucked up he is.
Oh yeah, he's getting a lot of our male YouTube fans very excited with his tattoos. I will say that. We do get quite a bit of comments from people trying to get a date with Troy. But aside from that, yes, you do make a point. You did drop him. You did make an impactful debut. I will give you that much, Jordan Oliver.
Yes.
So, up until this point, between then and your debut, and we'll take it to, the first year that you were in BEW. What would you say your biggest rivalry was, or your biggest opponent was?
I don't know. I gotta say probably that's a hard one because that's probably gotta be the King of the Mountain, Nevon McDonald, because hell, I still don't like him till this day. And in that first year, I lost to him. I beat him. We went on our whole little thing there, and that was, he's probably like my greatest rival ever in BEW as a whole.
Okay, all right. I can certainly agree with that. The King of the Mountain, everybody knows from experience. They've seen what the King of the Mountain has accomplished and done in BEW.
Speaking of the King of the Mountain, I'm just happy that guy's not here anymore. I can say what I want and do what I want and not get in trouble.
Well, let's remember, aside from my personal differences with the King of the Mountain, I still respect the King of the Mountain and respect what he was going through. And we can only say, rest in peace to the King of the Mountain. And
I'm happy the fucker's dead.
We can only mourn what he's become. Oh, God. Jordan. Next question. Jesus Christ. On BEW episode 16, we saw what truly has become one of the most monumental formings or happenings in the entire history of BEW as a company. We saw Jordan Oliver come together with Johnny Reed and Alan Styles to form the Top Gunz. Now, you would later be joined by David Llewellyn. My question for you would be, how did you meet with all these men? How did you get together and decide that this is what you wanted to do? And for what reason?
Well, let's start off with probably behind Nevon, my greatest rival would definitely be, well, I don't say greatest rival, but one of my biggest foes would be David Llewellyn. And how I met him was by wrestling him right in that trampoline after being told that he was better than me. And, maybe now we're equals, but back then, I was better than him. I took him out for very long. People say Shadowgram, but it was me. It was me. I heard him. But that's how I met him. And, he called me one night while he was in recovery, saying that he wants to make an impact for his return, and he wants to do bigger and better things than he did before, and he wants to become a champion again. He wants to do all these great things, and how great I was. He wanted to, kind of not leech off of that, but, moisten it up and, get some of that to himself. And we went over that, the Top Gunz was the best thing to do to make him great again, to make him a star. So we decided to take him back and bring him back and take that face-painted freak Shadowgram out. And that's why he's the hardcore champion right now. It's because he's part of the Top Gunz. How I meet Johnny and Alan, well, that's a pretty simple thing. They came to me, just like every other member in the Top Gunz, and asked me if they could get into BEW. And they wanted to be trained by the best wrestler in BEW, Jordan Oliver.
Okay, Jordan.
And the reason, before you cut me off there, Johnny Johnson, what's the reason for the Top Gunz? Is to be the best in BEW. And as a great president candidate would say, to make BEW great again.
Okay, well, you heard it right here from the man himself. The Top Gunz formed, I guess, out of mutual respect for each other in the case of David Llewellyn and Jordan,
yes,
but
definitely one of the greatest in BEW.
Multiple times you went on to claim that there is no leader of the Top Gunz, yet right here, it would sound almost as if you make yourself seem to be the leader of the Top Gunz.
Well, I'm not the leader. I'm just the creator. I believe we all have our equal respects for each other, and that we're all, pretty equal. We all have championships except for Alan Styles. We're not gonna get into that. He's being very not the point. We all have mutual respect for each other. We're all the leaders in way that I could say I want to do this, and they'll say that I want to do this, and we'll talk about it, and we'll be the best because that's we're brotherhood. We're not a faction. We're not a team. We're a brotherhood. And sometimes there's an alpha. Sometimes there's that's how it is. Right now I'm the alpha. I'm the champion. I am technically the top man in BEW as a whole right now.
Well, the belt certainly speaks for that, so I can't really deny that, or, it speaks for itself. The gold speaks for itself. Speaking of the gold, so since the Top Guns were formed, there's been a lot of underhandedness, a lot of use of the numbers advantage, and going through the Road to Gold tournament, you didn't exactly pick up victories in the cleanest way, but you advanced. You ended up advancing to the finals where you faced a foe that you knew very well from your days, even before BEW, Joseph Anthony. Now, it was a 2 out of 3 falls match. It was 1-1. And why don't you let the folks, why don't you tell them in your own words what you did to win that championship belt?
Well, as you stated, I cheated my way through the tournament. I didn't cheat anyway. I didn't get caught. I didn't get disqualified. I didn't cheat if you don't get caught.
Hey, listen, I never once used the word cheated. I said that your tactics weren't exactly savory. You said the word cheated.
They don't need to be savory if I have the gold, right? But what did I do to Joseph Anthony? I beat him fair and square.
Yes, but how?
I pinned him. How else?
And before that?
He knocked the ref down. That's what he did. He knocked the ref.
And between that?
You just want me to say it, huh? You want me to...
Yes, step by step, go through how you won the last fall in the championship match.
Well, Joseph Anthony had me a powerbomb, and he just passed out.
Really, Jordan? Is that really the story you're trying to get us all to buy? The viewers of Johnny Joint, you're trying to pass that off as how you won the most illustrious championship in all of backyard wrestling?
Well, they can go watch it, and they can see Joey passing out for himself. He picks me up, puts me on his shoulders, and he just passes out.
Okay, fans, I do recommend you go back, watch Road to Gold,
One
and
of the
see
greatest
exactly
BEW shows.
what Jordan's talking about, and exactly how the acts of that match played out.
What, next you're gonna say that I just spit in Tyler's face for no reason?
Well, I wouldn't exactly say there was no reason, but I wouldn't exactly say it was savory.
It was justified.
It was disgusting, Jordan. What your actions as champion are reprehensible so far. You haven't even yet defended the belt once. You haven't defended the belt once. What kind of champion, what kind of person at all just carries around something, claims to be the best, but won't even put it on the line?
Well, I haven't had the chance to put it on the line.
You have had a chance. You had a chance at Halloween Hell, but you just walked out. You went home. You had a mystery opponent. Somebody was waiting. He was there. He traveled. He wasted his time of that whole day to travel to the location, to thinking that he was going to get an opportunity at this belt, and you just went home because you had other things to do. What kind of champion does that?
Well, a great champion, let's put that out there first of all. And whoever this mystery opponent was, he didn't deserve a shot because he was a mystery opponent. If he was an actual wrestler, an actual important person, Nevon, whoever the fuck it was, wouldn't have had to put it up as a mystery opponent. You only put it up as a mystery opponent when that person isn't important enough to carry the match by their own name.
So obviously, I guess, Jordan just thinks he's above everyone at this point, and he doesn't need to wrestle anybody, because he's just the champion, and he just does what he wants to do.
Well, let's be honest, I've beaten everybody there is to beat in BEW, so if somebody wants to come out of the waterworks from out of nowhere, they don't deserve a shot at this belt until they prove to the champion, the man, that they can wrestle just as well as I can and hold their own. You know how long I worked for this championship, Johnny Johnson? 3 years it took me to get up here. 3 long years. And I'm not gonna
let cocaine binges longer than
I'm not gonna let just some rat come in here and get a shot at my belt. Just like I'm not gonna let some rat of a commentator get under my skin. Because you know what? you don't deserve to be here either. You just got hired by Nevon because the other guy, CJ, wasn't doing a well enough job. You're just here to push him. You're not good enough to be here.
Listen, if there was a championship for commentary, I'd be holding that belt, and you know what? I'd defend it every goddamn week, Jordan. Every week.
Well, if there was somebody that was good enough to wrestle me for the belt, I would defend it. But, you know, since I've won it, there has not been one person to prove to me that they can wrestle me for the belt. I'd say all the good guys are in the top Gunz, so why would I wrestle anybody else? You got David Lowell, the best around, the Pharaoh. You got Johnny Reed, the Shotgun Kid. Who else? You got Alan Styles. The 4 best people are in the top Gunz, and they are the only people that can even deserve a shot at this belt.
I can name, off the top of my head, I can name.
Name them.
I can name Shadow Grim.
I beat Shadow Grim. I beat Shadow Grim.
For the championship?
It was for a shot at the championship, and I feel like that was just as important.
Yeah, but how did you win that match? Were the top Gunz involved?
No.
Or was it one-on-one?
It was one-on-one.
Oh, yeah, right, okay, yeah, right.
David wasn't a top gun.
Yeah, but what happened at the end of that match?
Well, after Shadow tried to hit me with a chair, Shadow Grim fell into the corner, and he just fell on his own head. I don't know how. I wasn't paying attention.
You know what, folks? I don't even want to listen to any more of this malarkey. I just want to finish my cigar in peace. This is just ridiculous. I don't care who you are at this point. You know, if you're not going to come on here and tell me the truth, you know, I put a lot of time and effort into this interview, into these questions, and if you're just going to spin fairy tales and, you know, just try to deceive me and blow smoke in my face, then, you know, I think we're done here. Well, unless you got something else to say.
Well, the last person that blew smoke in my face, got spit on. So I would definitely refrain from that. And if you want to disrespect me, who are you to disrespect me? Who are you to say that you're above the champion? You're a drug addict. You're nothing. This stupid paper, this is nothing. This is a piece of trash. You can write stuff down, but you can't stand 1 second or 1 minute toe-to-toe with the champion, Johnny Johnson. So I'm getting out of here before I get disrespected by another nobody. How about you get a real tie, kid?
Ladies and gentlemen, I've never been so disrespected in my whole entire life. Right now, I don't want to tell you what I feel like doing, but it involves a heavy amount of drug usage. And I've been clean. Ladies and gentlemen. This is pushing me over the edge. And I'll tell you what, Jordan Oliver, you may have a lot of talk. You may say that you're the best and that nobody can take you down. But I got a strong suspicion that in the coming months, there will be people coming out of the woodwork to get a shot at you and your championship. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Johnny Johnson for Jordan Oliver's bitch ass. Have a good night.